The chosen ones, prepare, because this is your moment. You aren't here by chance. You are picked from among billions of people for a mission so distinct and strong. Yes, you, the one who may feel unremarkable, disregarded, or unclear about what may happen next. The creator of everything, the one who forms mountains and names the stars, has looked at you and determined you are meant for more. You are the head, not the tail. You are intended to rise, not fall. This is a wake-up call. You're never supposed to settle, blend in, or play it safe. You are created to push boundaries, defy expectations, and step into a mission that challenges what is considered normal. Sure, there will be no cheat codes or shortcuts on the road ahead, but here is the reality. Nothing can halt the plan that has already been put in action for you. Think about it. Those instances when you believed the world was saying no were not barriers. They were stepping stones. You weren't only picked to endure life. You were here to prosper, to lead, to inspire, and to demonstrate to the world what is possible when you follow your calling. So be ready, because this adventure is about more than simply what you can do. It's about what's been placed in you that will alter everything. This is your opportunity to rise above, live courageously, and emerge as the unstoppable force you were always destined to be. Are you ready? Let's go. Chosen persons often follow strange, even frightening roads as they are lured away from the cacophony of their previous life. This road of separation is not punishment, but rather a preparation for something higher, which will develop strength and clarity. One must first go through a period of separation from the diversions and conveniences that no longer serve their greater purpose. The impression of remoteness from people, loneliness, and even periods of feeling unnoticed are not indicators of desertion, but of divine purpose. This hallowed solitude removes layers of false dependence, revealing genuine character. Here, one learns to confront silent doubts, anxieties, and insecurities. These moments may not elicit acclaim or approval, but they contain the transforming force required to move into a destiny created for greatness, rather than melting into the familiar. This phase provides room for development to flourish in calm resilience, preparing the heart for future problems. When someone is divinely selected, the world's systems and judgments lose their legitimacy. Societal expectations, established standards, and predetermined hierarchies are rendered meaningless in the face of a greater calling. This decision goes beyond looks, background, or honors, and instead aligns with a fundamental purpose beyond human understanding. Divine choosing is not based on credentials or accomplishments. It recognizes latent potential and cultivates a unique destiny. The systems of the world often need credentials, connections, and conformance. However, divine purpose completely bypasses these constructions. The unnoticed, undervalued, and discarded often become carriers of transformational power. Each difficulty and setback serves as a platform for an incredible purpose, demonstrating strength in their weaknesses and grace in their flaws. This process reshapes the story, breaking conventions and defying expectations. It is not about justice according to worldly standards, but about an irrefutable favor that opens doors that no one can shut. No structure, authority, or gatekeeper can oppose what has been decreed. When this calling distinguishes someone, it is an unshakable and irrevocable statement of a purpose that will be realized against all obstacles. Join the trip, subscribe now, and let's make greatness happen. Much is expected of those who receive much. Luke chapter 12, verses 48. This poem expresses the essence of being selected. Imagine a blacksmith making a blade. The raw metal is heated, pounded, and molded while sustaining fire, not to be destroyed, but to grow stronger and sharper. That is what it is to carry the burden of a greater calling. It's not about prestige. It is about change and preparation. Being distinctive is not about titles or accolades. It's about taking responsibility. You are not raised to seek plaudits, but to lead a mission that affects lives beyond your own. True leadership is not a crown to wear. It's a mantle that demands steadfast commitment. Every action, every word, and every quiet moment is significant. As you go, the stakes increase. The margin for mistake decreases, and your dependence on supernatural might grows. The road might seem overwhelming. Doubts will whisper, "Why me?" Fear will scream, "You cannot do this." But God does not call the perfect. He prepares the willing. Your calling is based on potential, not credentials. This is not about ease or convenience. It is about achieving a much higher mission than you can conceive. Imagine a lighthouse standing steadfast amid a storm. Its invisible base is what keeps it stable. That is what God is instilling in you, a foundation strong enough to support the heights you will attain. Challenges are not setbacks. They are opportunities that will shape you into a leader with perseverance, perspective, and strength. The weight you're feeling now isn't designed to crush you, but to prepare you for the impact you're about to make. God does not give you a calling until He equips you to fulfill it. You are being prepared, similar to how a tree grows roots before yielding fruit. Each struggle strengthens you, preparing you for what is ahead. The burden of obligation is great, yet His grace is adequate. Lean into Him, and you'll discover that what was impossible becomes feasible. Remember this when you're feeling overwhelmed. You aren't wandering alone. The same hands that beckoned you are keeping you stable. You are being shaped for a mission that will survive you, creating a transformative legacy. Keep going, trust the process, and welcome the call. The best is yet to come. Rising to a greater goal requires a complete surrender, a total surrender of personal objectives, pride, and the appearance of control. True elevation is reserved for those who are prepared to let up of their self-directed objectives and follow a path formed solely by divine direction. This act of yielding is not a one-time action, but rather a constant commitment to surrender personal interests in return for harmony with a larger purpose. Genuine surrender cannot exist with partial obedience or covert efforts to preserve power. It entails exposing all aspects of your life, including your ambitions, weaknesses, and flaws, to the transforming work of a greater design. This process tests the fundamental foundation of human nature, which desires independence and acknowledgement. However, unless the urge for personal control is eliminated, the possibility for actual progress is locked away. Half-hearted devotion serves as a barrier, hindering the fulfillment of a calling. It requires entire faith. Choosing to let go of personal objectives isn't a loss. It's a surrender of power to the source of ultimate knowledge and insight. Elevation is reserved for those who approach their vocation with humility, allowing themselves to be shaped, honed, and prepared for the journey ahead by letting go of the need to lead themselves. A gateway opens to reach heights that human power alone could never accomplish. This is not about weakness. It is about discovering amazing power in the act of submitting. Experience what it actually means to be selected. You are not alone on this path. If you have a profound sense that you have been selected, you have come to the correct spot. Take the next step to connect with us. By selecting the Join button, You will have access to special information and receive the necessary support for your spiritual journey. This isn't simply about being a member of a community. It's about gaining unique insights that may change your life and bring you closer to your divine purpose. Make your decision now and join us on this trip. Take your spot among the selected ones. Join today. Reaching a position of power seldom starts at the top. Instead, people destined for leadership are often prompted to begin in the most unexpected areas. This is neither a punishment or an oversight. Rather, it is a planned step of preparation. These core experiences help us build resilience, inner strength, and humility. The early phases may seem laborious, even demoralizing, as the prospect of advancement appears distant. However, it is during these formative periods that one acquires the necessary abilities and insights for effective leadership. True progress arises not from shortcuts, but from patience and the lessons learned in times of obscurity. Self-doubt is challenged throughout these silent attempts. Discipline is refined, and perspective is expanded. Before one to lead successfully, they must first comprehend service, and before taking on considerable responsibility, they must bear the burden of preparation. This is not a sign of failure, but rather a testimonial to the transforming process required for longevity and integrity in positions of power. The voyage may seem to diverge from the promise, but this is by purpose. What seems to be a setback is often the starting point for something spectacular. The early phases, albeit inconspicuous from the outside, are when depth and character are developed to withstand the challenges of leadership. This stage of preparation assures that when the time comes for elevation, the foundation is solid and the objective may be achieved without fail. Trusting this process, especially when it seems to defy expectations, is vital. Carrying a divine mission leaves an indelible impact on your life, attracting both attention and opposition, even if its route may take unexpected turns. This calling brings more than simply chances and benefits. It also welcomes challenges. The transformational aspect of such a purpose often shakes existing conventions, breaks complacency, and exposes hidden shadows, resulting in conflict with people, institutions, and invisible forces. This resistance stems not from any crime, but from the enormous potential that differentiates you. While growth and elevation might inspire some, it can also cause anxiety or jealousy in others. By mirroring their stagnation or anxieties, no weapon made against you will flourish. Isaiah 5,417. Being selected entails overcoming opposition, but it also guarantees success, like an eagle soaring against the wind. Challenges are not intended to stop you, but rather to propel you higher. Opposition, whether external or internal, is part of the refinement process. Doubts and worries do not indicate failure. They are evidence of growth. The battle develops you, fortifies your determination, and primes you for greater impact. Trust in the process. Your mission is unstoppable. Internal conflicts are often the source of the most difficult hurdles on the route to leadership. The true struggle is inside, when doubts, anxieties, and insecurities arise to face the call on your life. These personal disputes are not hurdles to overcome, but rather important areas where development takes root. Before you can lead others, you must first conquer your own inner conflicts and emotions. No external enemy can completely destroy your aim unless you are already discouraged by your own self-perception. The next phase is here. Subscribe today, and let's go ahead together. Persistent misgivings may raise issues about your value and abilities. While worries of failure may drive you to withdraw into secure but limiting comfort zones, comparisons to others may feed feelings of inadequacy. leading you to wonder whether you deserve the possibilities that are presented to you. These challenges are not diversionary. They are the testing grounds where resilience, trust, and inner strength are developed. True elevation necessitates confronting these latent vulnerabilities to ease. Each moment of internal struggle reveals areas that need refining, whether it is pride that has to be softened, fear that must be replaced with confidence, or hesitancy that can only be overcome through trust. This process is typically chaotic, tense, and uncomfortable, yet it is profoundly transformational. By conquering these internal obstacles, you are preparing for a larger mission, one that requires clarity, humility, and unshakable determination. You provide a solid foundation that external obstacles cannot shake, allowing you to lead with sincerity and strength that no situation can undermine. Being selected for a bigger purpose does not imply seeking personal recognition or acceptance. This calling is neither a recognition of individual achievements or a chance for self-promotion. Instead, it is a conscious connection with a goal that goes beyond personal benefit. The chosen's job is to facilitate the flow of influence, knowledge, and resources to those in need. This is not a position to accumulate plaudits or elevate one's status, but rather an opportunity to serve a mission that goes well beyond personal ambitions. The core of this job is humility and service. Elevation is not about taking a high seat, but about utilizing that vantage position to inspire and empower others. When the attention turns to self-centered aims, the flow of purpose is disrupted, and the greater mission is jeopardized. True leadership needs a desire to stay grounded, to guide with integrity, and to ensure that every action contributes to the larger goal. The importance of being selected goes well beyond personal accomplishment. It is about impacting people's lives, promoting change, and contributing to a larger goal. Those who grasp this duty comprehend that their path is a means to an end, not a goal in itself. This approach requires ongoing contemplation as the attention shifts within. The spirit of the call is gone. Being entrusted with such a position is not a reward, but rather a tremendous duty to carry out a wider mission. If you are experiencing an excess of divine love in your heart, now is the moment to share it. You may help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and donating $20 or more. This wonderful gift will affect not just your life, but also the souls of countless others. Each of you has a holy position in God's great purpose via this platform, and your giving will provide fruit for our prayers. Act now. Share your riches to glorify His kingdom, since you were meant to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Carrying the weight of a greater calling requires an unwavering commitment to honesty, a standard that cannot be sacrificed for convenience or shortcuts. The way to fulfilling this duty will often provide opportunity to choose simpler paths, make dubious choices, or claim credit. That is not really yours yet. Genuine progress and genuine leadership need a firm commitment to ideals, even when external forces encourage you to deviate. Integrity is not limited to public deeds or times of visibility. It is based on decisions taken while no one else is observing. It becomes the foundation that supports you when the demands of leadership get more intense and the temptation of surpassing expectations becomes greater. In a society that often prioritizes outcomes above ethics, having unflinching honesty and consistency in your character sets you apart from the crowd and anchors your purpose. Every action taken without compromise demonstrates the strength of your belief and gains the confidence of people who rely on you for direction. A single moment of dishonesty or ethical lapse jeopardizes not just your reputation, but also the trust people have in your leadership. The consistency of your conduct is as important as the words you say. Creating a true legacy that outlasts transitory success is the duty you bear, and it requires tenacity in the face of criticism and temptation. However, it is this honesty that will keep your trip on track, with the objective for your elevation. True excellence is founded on an unflinching devotion to ideals that serve the larger cause. Ensure that your leadership is a long-term contribution rather than a one-time success. As you maintain your honesty, your route may be steep, but it will stay firm, and the influence of your labor will last. Walking the road of a higher calling entails embracing uncertainty as a necessary component of the trip. The steps you take to achieve your goal rarely takes a straight path. Instead, it is characterized by unanticipated changes, delays, and roadblocks that seem unrelated to the end purpose. These instances of unpredictability are not unintentional. They are intentional chances to mold your character and strengthen your spirit for what is ahead. In the face of such turns, control becomes an illusion that must be abandoned. Doors you thought would stay open may shut unexpectedly, and well-planned strategies may fail. While these experiences might be depressing, they are valuable lessons in patience, trust, and perseverance. It is exactly inside this turmoil that the deeper plan emerges, exposing power and clarity that might otherwise go untapped. If everything was delivered to you without difficulty or delay, your preparation would be poor, and the strength needed to carry out your mission would stay underdeveloped. These deviations and problems are not signals of failure, but rather indicators of development, each promoting a greater trust on the invisible design that guides your movements. Waiting tests endurance and perspective, changing what seemed to be delays into vital preparation. This journey is about embracing the whole growing process rather than taking shortcuts or being efficient. The volatility you experience is part of a strategy to ensure that you are ready when the time comes to elevate. Each difficulty and turn serves to strengthen the foundation. You will need to be confident and resilient. Trust the process, even if it seems chaotic, for it is through these challenges that you will be prepared to lead with knowledge, power, and purpose. Feel the call, realize your potential. Subscribe now and let's climb together. Your vocation is defined not by closeness to authority or global notoriety, but by the revolutionary influence you make in unexpected locations. Being picked for a greater purpose is not about advancing in position. It's about going into places where change is needed and making a lasting impression. Your impact is not fueled by your own strength, but by a bigger force acting through you, allowing you to touch lives and change settings in ways you never imagined possible. This quest often takes you outside familiar environments. Instead of remaining in familiar circles or predictable responsibilities, you are placed in situations ripe for change. These may be sectors, towns, or circumstances that are diametrically opposed to your original vision. Yet they are precisely where your purpose is most needed. There are indeed many people who die wishing you could solve the problem, but this is not one of them. Your duty is not to collect praises, but to act as a bridge, bringing ideals, optimism, and understanding where they are lacking. Your impact will exceed your expectations. What starts as a modest ripple in your immediate surroundings may expand into waves that affect people and places you've never met. You are raised not for selfish benefit, but to inspire others, inspiring change well beyond your immediate grasp. Your mission extends beyond the apparent. It grows into unexpected locations, generating connections and possibilities that are consistent with the overall design. It's not simply about leading or influencing. It's about infusing meaning into every situation you encounter. The significance of your position extends beyond personal gain. Serving as a light for others and broadening the scope of the task you were selected to carry out. The true power of your purpose comes in the hidden ways it changes lives, civilizations, and possibilities. Far above anything you could have expected, individuals chosen are challenged with exceeding current norms rather than complying to them. This calling is much more than just thriving inside prescribed limitations. It is about reimagining what success, leadership, and innovation look like. You are not promoted to preserve the status quo, but to disrupt it by presenting a new vision that challenges assumptions and forges new routes. Leadership in this situation is not limited to conventional paradigms or predetermined techniques. It takes innovative thought, strong action, and bravery to create possibilities where none previously existed. This quest is about more than just fitting in and following established pathways. It is about creating new environments that express beliefs and purpose in unique ways. The Chosen's mission is to destroy imagined restrictions by demonstrating that obstacles that others see as insurmountable may be overcome. This isn't about conforming to the world's conceptions of accomplishment or success, but about going above and beyond them to pioneer something altogether new. Circumstances, background, and society expectations cannot hold this calling. Instead, you are prepared to create, to conceive what exists beyond the apparent, and to change not just your own life, but the lives of people around you. To accept this task is to become a live example of what is possible when a vision crosses borders. This isn't just about outperforming others. It is about completely redesigning the landscape. This kind of leadership redesigns the norms, establishes new precedents, and encourages people to dream bigger than they ever imagined. Your task is not to compete in a game that has already been determined, but to rewrite its meaning, leaving an inspirational and lasting legacy. You are called not just to succeed, but also to reinvent, to build ideas that challenge obsolete standards and represent a purpose larger than personal desire. This elevation is a call to innovate, think boldly, and act with a sense of purpose, transforming the ordinary into the remarkable. Those who have chosen this road are not looking for shortcuts or personal gain. It is a path distinguished by constant development, humility, and devotion to a cause greater than oneself. This calling is not about gaining fame, but about becoming a conduit for genuine change. It will put your character to the test, pushing you to let go of your ego, accept faith, and develop through hardships that show strength you never knew you had. Every struggle, failure, and uncertainty is molding you into someone capable of making a lasting impression on others. This isn't about your comfort or elevation. It's about being a leader who demonstrates purpose in every move. Your adventure begins here. Subscribe today, and let's create something special together. To ascend is more than just attaining a job. It is to take on a job that helps others and demonstrates the ideals that inspire genuine leadership, which isn't about personal gain, but about providing opportunities for others to succeed. The responsibilities of this calling need tenacity, honesty, and the fortitude to lead with conviction in the face of hardship. This is not a burden, but a blessing, a molding process that will ready you for much more impact than you could ever conceive. Your duty is not to seek applause, but to demonstrate how purpose-driven leadership can alter people's lives. Environments and systems welcome the process, believe in the journey, and are confident that your effect will manifest itself in unique ways. You are prepared to bring to life. The world waits for change. Only you can inspire. Step in with confidence and commitment. May your trip be full of power and purpose. If these remarks struck a chord with you and you feel ready to accept your calling, stay connected for continuing support and assistance. Transformation is a journey, and here you'll discover the insights and support you need to step bravely into your destiny. Join a community committed to encouraging and inspiring one another. Let's rise together. Inspire and leave a lasting impression. Your adventure is just starting. Step boldly into it.